Thank you very much for watching Master Jason Feng Shui. Today I will share with you something that is related to BaZi reading. In Cantonese, we have this saying that goes, 落地喊三聲，好醜命生成. Means in English, it means that when we are born, when we started to cry at our time of birth, because we all have to take our first breath, right? Our destiny is already written. That is what this Cantonese, what we call traditional saying goes. 落地喊三聲，好醜命生成. Well, indeed, in life, you will realize that not all of us are born equal. There's no such, to be honest, there's really no such thing as equality in this world. 我们呢，人生呢，其实是没有公平的。我们呢，每个人呢，出生都有带着一种不同的因果关系啊，来到这个我们叫做娑婆世界啊。We all bring up different karmic consequences from our previous life, and that will lead to different destiny characteristics of or from our destiny chart formation. So today we kind of go through you. What are the charts that are very auspicious to be found if looking at it from a BaZi perspective? And of course, if you are someone who is able to plot your own BaZi chart, I welcome you to ask any questions that are related to your own BaZi chart likewise. So today is like I want this to be an interactive session because it's a live broadcast anyway. Yeah. So if you do have questions regarding your own birth chart, do feel free to let me know. I will be more than glad to explore with you. But in terms of BaZi reading, there are indeed 10 auspicious formation that would often bring about better life outcome, yeah, or what we call a better trajectory in life. 我们呢，在八字里面呢，始终有些人的命格哈，真的天生是比较好的。有些人呢，天生就是做一个领导的、做老板的命啊；有些人呢，天生就是呢，一辈子只能够帮人家打工。这个是一个我们叫做命格里面呢，其实有注定啊，我们叫做那今天就跟你们分享一些比较吉利或者我们就说在人生当中比较容易成功的一些命格，好不好 ？Thank you very much, Yvonne, for watching. Despite it's so late 呀。那今天呢工作的比较晚哦，所以呢比较就是说比较晚吃饭。其实我刚刚才吃的晚餐啊，就是说。所以呢，就今天比较晚上来直播哈，可是说呢是跟大家聊聊天当做一个 chit chat 就好了，好不好？那我们呢，子平命理啦，什么子平命理哈？原子平就是我们呢以前把这个八字把它变成从年来算命，变成用日期还有时间来算命的一个传奇人物那我们今天就看一下子平命理10大贵格So today we'll kind of take a look at the 10 what we call top global structures in terms of BaZi reading. Of course, I will try to be as bilingual as I could, yeah, because most of my clients are from Singapore. Sometimes when I speak English, they will ask me why you don't speak Mandarin. When I speak Mandarin, they will ask me why I don't speak English. So I will try to speak in both language. But of course, there are a lot of overseas clients also, and viewers and followers. Yeah. But really, my favorite tomato juice from Korea. Yeah, this is my favorite tomato juice. Anyway, right. So, in terms of BaZi reading, there are really different kinds of structure or formation that will determine your level of success in life. 有些人天生就是一个大的格局，可以做总统可以做 prime minister， 可以做一个大老板，对不对？可是有些人呢，一生就是一个小员工每天要看着老板的脸色然后呢，就是说，只有老板可以炒他鱿鱼，他不可以炒老板鱿鱼的那种命格其中呢，人生其中真的有不一样的一种发展有些呢天生就带着一个我们叫做金锁匙就他一辈子就不用工作的只要他在他的父母的那个我们叫做培养下或者带领下呢，他有些人就在家里面很有钱嘛，他其实一辈子不需要工作就是说什么东西都归他安排好了我们叫做赢在那个起 跑点啊，赢在起跑点。很多其实大部分的新加坡的人都蛮幸运的。其实我大部分的客人也是蛮幸运，他们也是就是很富有啊。然后呢，他们的小孩也是很富有。Yeah, but nonetheless, we do have a different kind of birth chart. Yeah, some people are just born within a rich family, and everything in life is being provided by the parents. Basically, they don't have to work a single day in life, and then they will have a comfortable meal, living, more than enough food to eat, more than enough resources to use, and every day they live a comfortable life, and once or twice, three times or four times a year, they just go for holiday, right? So we all have different what we call destiny, born with different what we call developments. And that is something that I want to touch on today. So if you're someone who is also interested to find out your own destiny, and if you are someone who know how to plot your BaZi chart using the software, really nowadays it's very simple. You just download a BaZi software and then plot your day and time of birth. But for those people who are born in Singapore, do remember to adjust your solar time of birth, because in the past we have actually been what we call governed by the British government, by the Japanese government, and Malaysia government. So due to political or administrative purposes, the Singapore solar time, I mean the clock time, the official time is different from solar time. So this is something that a lot of Singaporeans do not know, and most of the time when they go for BaZi reading, they assume that the practitioner is well versed with the history of Singapore. Actually, I will say 90% of the practitioner in Singapore is not well versed with this piece of information that is very important for BaZi reading or astrological reading. Which is that you always have to adjust your time of birth if you are born in Singapore. And at different year, there will be different adjustments. Some are 30 minutes, some are 35 minutes, some are 1 hour. So you really need to find a well-versed BaZi practitioner to adjust the time of birth for you in order to find out what exactly is your time of birth. Because without the proper time of birth, you will never be able to accurately tell what is your BaZi structure, right? Structure is the 格局, shows the quality and patterns of the chart. And all of us will have certain pattern within our BaZi chart, yeah. Like in Singapore stand, we all like this kind of some kind of pattern, yeah. Indeed, it's true, right? We all have certain kind of pattern, right? Is shown within our BaZi chart. And then there are also conditions that will bring about positive developments or negative developments that would often need to take the month, the year, and the time of birth into consideration, and also the regulation of temperature. 我们叫做调候。还有病药，病药是什么？就是说 you have to locate the lacking the element that is lacking with the chart and supplement it. And ultimately, 通关 also is another very important factor in terms of BaZi reading. 通关 is very much like channeling to bring about a more smooth running of energy within the entire BaZi chart. And of course, that is a higher level of study, but I will still introduce all these concepts to you, so that in the future when you study BaZi, you will like kind of remember what I say, yeah, and understand all these deeper concepts, right? The timing of birth is very, very important, especially so as I mentioned, those people born in Singapore, you must adjust your solar time of birth, yeah. Without the solar time of birth, you will have a wrong BaZi chart. For example, right, different public figures, like for example, our previous Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew, actually he has certain formation like 回干格, and I will kind of like slowly introduce you to all these concepts, yeah. But ultimately, we must still look at the person's entire BaZi chart. Means you cannot just look at the structure without looking at the decade development or the year development. Ultimately, the decade is our yun, is our life journey. You are born as a Ferrari, yes, fair enough, but whether you will have a smooth journey is another thing, right? Some people are born as a Lamborghini, but their life journey is like roller coaster, like Pu Yi is the last emperor of China, born as a king, but throughout his life he led a life of prisoner. If you are familiar with this last emperor of China, Pu Yi, at 3 years old he actually ascended the throne, and interestingly, when he was being what we call appointed as the emperor of China, his father the father actually accompany him then and say, don't cry, don't cry. It's going to be over soon. It's going to be over soon. The father actually said this to the son. And true enough, he's Puyi, the king, the kingdom under Puyi's rule didn't last long. That is the Qing dynasty. That's the last dynasty of China. And in fact, he was born with an extremely beautiful great chart as an emperor. But throughout the decade development in his life is all very negative. And he lived really very much like a prisoner of war, or like ultimately the communists also like sent him into reformative training or re-education and etc. Yeah, so not necessarily that you are born with a good battle chart then you have a good life. Ultimately, you must still look at your decade development or year development。就说像溥仪这个最后一个皇帝啊，就是说中国的皇帝是天生是帝王的命，可是怎么样，一生呢都流离失所啊，一生都是怎么样呢？都是被人家欺负啊，在人家的好像就是一个脚底下生活啊，就是说又要坐牢又要做一个傀儡皇帝，对不对？好，或者呢，我就先打开溥仪的那个命格啊，跟大家讲解一下啊。那我的我的 style 是比较 random 的啦，因为就当做大家聊聊天嘛，有时候就是说晚上了哈。晚上吃完饭了，然后星期五晚上我们一起聊一下哈，就是说八字里面一些有趣的事情，好不好？我们再看一下溥仪，溥仪就是那个皇帝啊，就是说我们在中国里面清朝最後一個我們叫做末代皇帝溥儀啊，佢係中國最後一個皇帝啊。咁佢個命格其實生得好靚嘅，但係始終咧佢嗰個叫做咧即係嗰個我哋叫做個運就好差啦，個運就好差。咁我哋就慢慢去解釋點解溥儀嗰個命格係咁差咧？咁我哋就可以明白人嘅人生係咩咧？你天生可以係皇帝嚟嘅喎，但係一生可以成為咩啊？可以成為一個囚犯成一個傀儡嘅一個皇帝都得嘅嚇。So let's take a look at Puyi's Bazi chart, yeah. So let me try to plot it out first properly before we proceed. Yeah, Puyi actually born with a very, very nice chart. A chart that is meant to be an emperor, right? So let's take a look at Puyi's Bazi chart first, right? So Puyi is the last emperor of China. 你们每个人就是说也没有想过自己能够做皇帝呢？有些人就不需要想他天生就是皇帝命，溥仪就是一个皇帝命我们就看一下溥仪的这个命格先好不好？那溥仪为什么他的命格那么好呢？So this is the last emperor of China's chart, and we will kind of like study it together 溥儀係中國最後一個皇帝So let me try to do some setting first. All right. Okay, so不顯示菜單 yeah, so I think it'll be clearer if I kind of like open the chart fully for you guys to see. So this is the birth chart of Puyi. So he was born in the year what we call 1906 February the 7th, and the time of birth should be nighttime. And if we are to observe the八字 chart of 溥仪OK， 我们不是每个人都懂得八字，可是我会略略的解释给你们听溥仪本身是一个壬水的一个命格那壬水的命格呢是一个阳的水嘛，通常阳水的人呢然后呢如果呢得到其他的我们叫做喜神或者用神配搭的好呢，他是会能够有一个很大的财富尤其是说他的命格是财富通门户的，对不对？溥仪的命格是财富通门户，为什么？因为寅午戌是一个火局它有2个半火局寅是一个火局，2个午火可是说呢我们能够了解嘛财富通门户你一定要有比肩比劫这些能量帮助你你才能够有一个好的一个我们叫做发展这样的 chart 比较 OK， 我按一下那个 setting 先不好意思 我就不要开价格这样会比较容易给大家看那溥仪为什么他会到最后变成一个我们叫做 prisoner 呢？为什么呢？能够看得到呢，溥仪他的那个命格来说嘛，是一个身旺还是身弱的格局？我们可以看得到嘛，他本身是一个身弱的格局来的他也是个身弱的格局来的为什么这样说呢？始终寅木是他的出生的年份然后呢，他的这个五行用事是木土嘛，是他的我们叫做气杀，对不对？是他的那个，因为壬水是阳的水嘛，寅木里面我们五行用事是木土嘛，这个是一个七杀的一个关系，那代表什么？他天生就有财富，因为寅木已经一个火局了嘛，丙火也是一个阳的火嘛，然后他出生的月份也是给他一个很大的权对不对？很大的权而是说呢，我们能够看得到吗？他一生呢被就天生就是天子嘛，就是说一个皇帝，为什么？因为呢能够看得到天干就有一个根金去生旺他的壬水然后呢他的出生时间也是这个壬子那这个是代表什么呢？虽然它是一个身弱的水，可是呢旁边都有很好的支柱，就是很好的一个 support 身边文武百官他的那些我们叫做太监全部都在皇宫里面照顾他的嘛这些就是皇宫里面的人了壬水庚金子水这些。而说你记得一件事情呢，溥仪呢本身是怎么样？他有2个老婆的如果你有翻历史的话if you do look back at the history of 溥仪the last emperor of China, he actually had 2 wives. One of the wives actually divorced him. And it's true enough, within his chart, we can see that the spouse domain is having a clashing relationship. And then the spouse domain is repeated 2 times, right? This Wu fire here, which is at his spouse domain, is repeated 2 times. 所以呢，有些男人呢，天生真的是有2个老婆的，就是命格带来的是没有办法躲得掉。溥仪就是有2个老婆你回去看溥仪的那个命格。无论谢谢你的观看So any issues, technical issues, please feel free to leave it in the comments here, all right? So is indeed true that Pu Yi has 2 wives, right? If you look back at the history of China, very beautiful chart. 财富通文物 means the wealth energy is right at his doorsteps, and it's true he's born an emperor. And that the month, the dominant energy is the 7 killing. 所以最后有生杀的大权生死大权，皇帝就是天生就有生死的大权的嘛。他叫哪一个人去死都可以去死。其实他曾经就叫他的一个太监去喝他的，因为他时候脾气不好嘛，就叫他身边的一个太监去喝那个他写毛笔的那个墨水。那个太监就直接喝因为你不能够反抗皇帝的命令的所以呢，这个人的八字是一个皇帝的命可是他的命格好不好，他的大运好不好？那一个身弱的人水走到火的时候呢，都会很差。他的中年全部都是火运，我们叫南方火运。是一个火，甲午是非常大的一个火，乙尾都是一个火，所以他这段时间是什么样，都是 prison 的If you look back at the history of Pu Yi, his middle years actually was all, being a prisoner of war, Pu Yi, right? As look back at the history, right? As a prisoner of war, what are the years? So if we check AI, we know that, right? If we are to look back at AI, Pu Yi actually, right, as the emperor, right? But the what we call right, like August 1945, right? While attempting to flee Japan, China's last emperor Pu Yi spent 5 years as a privileged prisoner of war in the Soviet Union. In 1950, he was extradited to the People's Republic of China to face trial as a war criminal. So all these are written in history, and all these are coherent with his Bazi chart. If we are to look back at his Bazi chart exactly, it was in the year of 1945 that he entered into this Jiawu. right? If you are able to see this 甲午 here, that is what? That is exactly when he entered the prison as a prisoner of war 啊，就是说他就是在这个甲午的时候坐牢啊。啊，我现在说的这是OK， 我看一下啊，五五 self punishment 也是啊，五五也是自刑啊，所以他的那个夫妻关系不好嘛。那今天我还是用华语讲了啊，重点我才用英文讲，因为讲八字始终用英文讲比较容易啊。不，我们看得到呢，他始终的那个1945年就是他坐牢的时候啊，对不对？所以八字，你是一个皇帝，你会不会坐牢也是可以坐牢的啊。啊，全部都是有根据、有根有据啊。我们看一下在网上的那个记载啊，他就是1945年啊，好，那时候发生什么事情啊？那时候呢，他被那个苏联的那个我们叫做军队啊，就是说那时候因为他要逃离日本的那个统治嘛啊，所以溥仪呢那时候就被苏联当成是一个我们叫囚犯哦啊，在苏联那边，然后到1950他又被送回去中国。啊，又是一个 criminal war criminal 啊，所以全部八字里面的东西全部写出来，黑字白字全部写出来。我不可以说不可以相信啊，因为这些都是证据啊，对不对？全部都写了出来。他就1945年甲午啊，为什么甲午？因为甲是生旺丙火午火的这个元素的一个天干呐、对不对？甲是一个阳的我们叫做木嘛。能不能够生火？当然可以生火，生旺这个丙火。然后呢，这个午呢也是自刑啊，所以乙方也是说的对啊，他这个大运就是自刑啊，他就自己需要投降咯，投降要投入这个苏联那边做这个囚犯，然后到最后又被中国带回去中国，被那个共产党去审判，对不对？就是五五之刑啊，1950年也是说。因为天干是我们上5年，下面就是下5年嘛，所以全部都准啊，八字很准啊，逃不过。所以呢，是不是你命格好，你就一辈子都好呢？Is it really that you are born with a destiny of an emperor, then forever you'll be okay? No, right? Exactly the case of Pu Yi, 1945, as mentioned in the article that I showed you earlier on, he was in prison. That was due to the Jia they what we call decade trend Jiawu, which is a very strong fire decade trend. Jiawu is able to enhance the Bing fire the Bing fire heavily stamped at the year. And subsequently, Wu will have a self punishment. That's why he was a prisoner of war in Russia, and ultimately being brought back to China as a war criminal, right? So all these are coherent and evidence based. Whatever I'm sharing with you 就是说呢，我说的东西不会跟你吹水的全部都有根有据，全部都有历史的证据所以呢，今天呢跟大家分享的东西对你们有没有用？当然有用。我们每个人都希望了解自己的人生嘛，然后喝一下那个土梅头酒先都希望我们能够知道自己的未来怎么样，然后能够有一个准备。什么叫准备啊？就好像呢，我那时候是说，今年很多人都会有感情的问题，对不对？那你就要尽量的小心去处理感情的问题哦。那今年我也说过，很多人会犯官非啊，会有 legal issues 或者 debts 的东西debts 的 issue 那你就尽量要避免对不对？所以呢，我们知道未来就能够 preempt 那些问题的出现，或者至少能够把它们减到最低，让自己的人生能够趋吉避凶嘛，对不对？这个就是我们的重点。所以今天跟大家分享的东西很有用。如果你对命理学有兴趣，想自己了解自己的人生、自己的命格，或者你也想我帮你看一下，我也欢迎你在那个 comment 上边留言可是说呢，重点就是说呢，贵格只是说它的前置最终成就仍然要看那个整个命盘还有运程的配合所以呢，不是说能够一概而论。那今天呢，会跟大家讲解不同的命格这些都是说我们在八字里面常常遇到的一些命格那我就 introduction 先我用华语先讲因为用华语教八字是比较容易的。我们有官印相生格、下印相生格、食神自煞格、双官配印格、财官伤美格、财支弱煞格。 狼刃架煞格、转旺格、重格、化气格啊。所以呢，某些呢是特别好的啊，好像第一到第五都很好，这些都是supreme 我们叫做 supreme excellence。可是说呢，第六到第九也是 OK 啊，就是说 is also great kind of life formation or chart formation 啊。So to repeat myself in English one more time, yeah, we basically have these 10 BaZi chart formation that are extremely positive. They are supreme excellence kind of chart. And of course, I will go through with you one time first in English. The first one is called the official suit mutual generation, followed by 7 killings, suit mutual generation, followed by eating god controls killings, followed by hurting officers with seal, and then wealth and officer in harmony. Wealth nourishes with killings, damn plague driving kill links, specialized strength, follower structure, transformation of chi. Of course, by looking at this, you will be asking, Master Jason, what the hell are you talking about again? 你喺度講乜鬼啊, Master Jason? Yeah. So don't worry, right? If you are interested in BaZi reading, I will explain to you step by step so that you will be able to counter chat with your own BaZi chat to see if you are having any of such positive, what we call formation within your BaZi chat, right? Which will help you to understand what kind of destiny you are bestowed with and what kind of life journey or what kind of life direction you should actually move towards, so that you'll be able to explore your potential in the best way possible, and also help you to plan ahead, right, as to like what should be your future, what we call the best thing for you to do, right, in terms of the future development, right? Of course, if you want to further study, right, what we call all these very interesting knowledge in terms of what we call 八字紫微斗数 reading, I will be conducting a course in the month of August. So if you are someone who like to go very in depth into the study of 八字and 紫微斗数 and use it in your own life to benefit your own life, or maybe you want to be a practitioner like me to earn money or serve clients, right? Through using 紫微斗数 and 八字, I will encourage you to sign up for this course. It will be a very helpful course for all of us who are interested in metaphysics, right? So basically, you will know all the professional and systematic way of decoding the 紫微斗数 charts. And it is only conducted once this year. This course will only be conducted once this year, so there will not be second intake this year. So we'll learn how to read the 紫微斗数 charts confidently, understand the structure of personality and destiny, analyze our strength, weakness, opportunities, and challenges, identify key life themes and important turning points, build a solid foundation to continue your journey into advanced study. Yeah. Very reasonable price. Do not miss it, right? This is just the price of like, right? Recently, you have the what life credit, right? S3 credit, especially for those who have children, right? You can take off this course, right? I don't know, like if you have other like kind of like what we call okay, what I call like if you feel that you want to make use of metaphysics information or knowledge to benefit your life, this is worth investing in. This amount is an amount that is very reasonable. Invest in to better your life, right? Using 八字and紫微斗数. And ultimately, you will be able to expose to all the important knowledge in 紫微斗数, like the 40 main stars, the 12 palaces, the life cycles, the step-by-step chart analysis, and ultimately the minor stars in 紫微斗数 will also be touched on. And bonus contents, you will also learn 紫微斗数 face reading and 紫微斗数 application. So really, 紫微斗数 face reading, I have touched on it in various of my other videos. Those are very background or basic knowledge. In my course, I will touch more in depth on all this information. Yeah, so do feel free to join this course. Right, but let's start with Obama. Right, let's start with Obama. Right, one of the best chart formation, what we call 观音上升格, right? So Obama is actually having this kind of birth structure, but I will introduce you what this means, like what what we call what is this 观音上升格 means 观音上升格是什么呢？其实很简单就是一个日主，他的命格里面又见到正官，又见到印那我们呢就会呢有这个观音上升格，这种人就可以做这个世界领导奥巴马就是一个世界领导人，李冠耀也是那我等一下会打开他们命盘给大家看一下那我会慢慢一个解释我喝下水先Alright， 你要做大老板你是说皇帝其实美国总统算不算是说一个皇帝呢？也算嘛。其实坦白说，美国真的有 democracy 吗？没有。我坦白说，美国只是用 democracy 这个 idea 呢，来对抗很多这个反对他们的一些国家的政权而已。美国本身没有 democracy 的对他们有 voting， 可是代表什么呢？你 vote 了以后，全部东西也是国家决定的吗？对不对？你只是4年去 vote 一次，那你决定什么？你决定不了国家什么东西坦白说 ，democracy 是一个 illusion 来的。坦白说 ，Yes, one man, one vote, but at the end of the day, you're not going to do anything for the rest of the 4 years. Yeah, doing election, right? You like have a lot of like a sense of in control, but that is, in my view, is a very poor sense of control. Because for the rest of the 4 years in America, for example, like every 4 years they have election. For the next 4 years, basically you have no say of how the government is to be run. Like Donald Trump actually promised a lot of things during his president election campaign. But did he fulfill any of them? Like all of them? No. There are a lot of promises that he did not fulfill. And is economy getting better in America? No, it's not. In fact, the whole economy, like the whole world economy is being affected, right? Due to all this war, Iran, of course, that include US economy also. But what I'm trying to say is that ultimately people who have this kind of 观音上升 or officer seal mutual generation chart will usually become very great world leader or leader in very large organization or political leader. So to open your chart, right, to see if you have such kind of birth chart. So what happens is that when you have officer produce seal, means the what we call the direct officer. If you are what we call familiar with the BaZi reading, for people who are not familiar with BaZi reading, perhaps we will just open his chart and take a look, so that we will be very clear. Right, even for beginners in learning BaZi. All right, so let me turn on. Where's my? Right, so let's take a look at Obama's chart. Right, so Obama was born on the what we call the 1961 August the 4th at the Shui hour. Right, so why is he having such a great chart? We see that Obama is having a Zi of Day Master. Additionally, he has 7 killing at the month pillar and direct officer at the time pillar. And all these are actually the meaning of authority, 正官, right? Especially 正官, 甲子 actually form a natural combination relationship, right? But ultimately, beside the official power, he also have other kind of influential power also, like the way he speak, that often like is like very authoritative. People like very find his speech very convincing, right? That is also related to Chisa. This Chisa, which is 7 killing at the month branch, heavenly stem. So ultimately, where is the seal? The seal is right at his spouse domain, the Shi fire. Shi fire is what generate the Zi earth. And interestingly, if you observe the life of Obama, whenever Obama goes, he seems to be doing something. Like most of the time, he will bring Michelle Obama along. Who is Michelle Obama? Michelle Obama is the wife of Obama, if you don't know. Right, okay. Maybe some of us may not remember who is she, but let's take a look at Michelle Obama, This is Michelle Obama, right? This is the right photo, right? I think so, yeah. Yeah, Michelle Obama, yeah. So she was the first lady of course, First Lady means what? Means the wife of Obama, right? Obama, the previous, what we call president of the United States. Yeah. So perhaps we can also take a look at his chart also. I mean, I'm always someone very flexible in terms of my life sharing. So maybe we'll also look at Obama's wife chart. 19, oh, sorry. Um, okay, what is his date of birth? Yeah. His date of birth is 1964. And the month of birth is January the 17th. Of course, we don't have her time of birth, perhaps we'll check, yeah. Time of birth of Michelle Obama. Sometimes may not be able to find it, but will be good if we have her time of birth. I don't think we can find it online. So anyway, we will just plot her chart without her time of birth, yeah. Right, so 1964, January the 17th. So Michelle Obama, when we look at Michelle Obama's chart, exactly, she is having a lot of direct officer that is the Yi Wood. All right, what we call the seven killing of the day master of Obama. Interestingly, right, 子 Earth, in terms of fast reading, 子 Earth is actually equivalent to the 丑 Earth, yeah. And if you look at the Obama's chart, Obama is having the 子 Earth day master, and interestingly, Michelle Obama exactly is having this 子 Earth at her spouse domain. And we also can observe that there are a lot of seven killings for that day master of 子 Earth of Obama within Michelle's chart, a lot of Yi Wood. And all this actually means authority and power. And if you look at how Obama often portray his political image, he's a loving husband, always respecting women's rights, always bringing his wife along when he gives speeches, etc. And in fact, spousal relationship will support a politician very much also. And that's the same case with Michelle Obama. A lot of seven killing in relation to the day master of Obama, right? Yi Wood. And Yi would often need various factor. First of all, wet earth, right? There are two wet earth within Michelle Obama's chart already. And then there is also water that is nourishing this Yi Wood. There are also a lot of companion factors. Well, can I say that Obama actually has a lot of admirers? Yes, I would say actually, if you watch back some of the older news, a lot of women actually try to get close to Obama, but Michelle is always there to kind of like stop it from happening, right? But we can see that within Michelle Obama's chart, there is really a lot of companion factors. That is a sign of husband having a lot of other female admirers. Yeah, so you see it within Michelle Obama's chart. But anyway, is Michelle Obama able to increase the political power or authority or political strength of Obama? I will say yes, Barack Obama. Definitely, because a lot of wood element, right, within Michelle Obama's chart. And we are to look back at Obama, right, his own chart. Indeed, he needed this wood element to fuel the fire, right? What we call 晒应上升 or 正官我们叫做观音上升, yeah, means this 假 wood or like sometimes 乙 wood can also be taken into consideration when there are too many 乙 wood. It can be viewed as 假 wood also. When too many yin heavenly stems are present, like in all right, let's go back to Michelle's chart. Yeah, we can see that there are a lot of 乙 wood within Michelle's chart, right? But when Yi Wood is like having a group of them, collective strength, they can be considered as a yang wood also. So within Obama's chart, we can see that he leader Michelle, right? He leader Michelle because Michelle is able to fuel the fire element that is at the day pillar of branch of Obama, bringing about positive influence to Obama. So Obama loved his wife, definitely, and will leave his wife for what we call political strength or security. So well, we can see this is a very good chart formation. So are you also someone having this kind of chart? If you do, you are likely to be someone who is high ranking, right? Like CEO of a large organization, or someone who is able to be what we call a very prominent political figure. And perhaps we can look at the chart of Mr. Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew, previous Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew, yeah. And that will also show, right? If we are to use him as a case study, right? So I will kind of quickly plot Mr. Lee Kuan Yew's chart. Lee Kuan Yew, Prime Minister, previous Prime Minister mentor Lee Kuan Yew. All right, so let me try to spell the name. Yeah, right. So 1923 September 16. Right, 1923 September 16哈。那我现在呢，就一起跟你们一起来讲解一下。我们前总理李光耀先生啊，他就是新加坡的国父哈，对不对啊？那他是什么样的一个格局呢？也是一样的一个观音上升的一个格局哦。所以呢，通常这种观音上升的格局呢，都是非常大的格局啊，都是伟人的格局，或者就是很领导啊。一个国家的领导的一些格局啊，那我们看一下就是前总理新加坡前总理李光耀先生的这个命格啊，能够看得到他是壬水一个日元嘛，他是癸干格哦，他的这个辰就是他的官了，对不对？就是他的官或者他的杀啊，所以能够看到什么东西？也是同样的一种情况啊，它的印就是它的月份这边啊，所以呢，官印上升啊，这个尘土就会生旺这个酉金啊，而且呢，这个辰也是跟这个酉有一个相合的情况出现了啊，所以呢，这种也是一种领导的格局啊，然后这个印也是它的正印啊，还是一个正印啊，升的很，我们叫顺升嘛，因为阴的金会伤阳的水啊，这个是一个顺升的情况啊，所以呢，很美。很美的一个格局啊，李光耀先生的格局很美。So for previous Prime Minister mentor Lee Kuan Yew, he's actually having a 癸刚 day pillar. 壬辰 is a 癸刚 day pillar, and with the 7 killing at the bottom, enhancing the direct resource at the month pillar is another very beautiful chart. Yeah, so if you have this kind of formation, I will congratulate you 啊，那你们就看一下自己有没有这种命盘了哦。好像你路过走过突然间为什么看到Master Jason 在这边讲八字的事情，然后你又打开自己的八字，可能你就了解自己可能也是一个国家领导人对不对那也很不错，你可以继续做总统了So let's take a look at C 班的 what we call the comment. Hello 师傅 able to advise my 格局身旺或身弱。甲子年壬申月甲辰日甲子时 I'm kind of confused different 流派字法 definition. Can you actually give me your date and time of birth, yeah? So that I can just to make sure things are correct, right? C-band, yeah, I'll be more than glad to help. And for other viewers, 你们也是勇敢一点不用害羞我欢迎你们跟我聊天跟我讲话 ，Don't be afraid I'm a very friendly person and will always be more than glad to share. So for C-Bank, if you are able to provide me with your date and time of birth, will be fantastic. 钟表时間可以呀，钟表時間也是可以。Where are you from, by the way? WhatsApp me, yeah, okay. Where are you from, by the way? I mean, which country were you born in? 你喺邊個地方出世因為如果你喺唔同嘅地方出世，有陣時真係要調嗰個真太陽時間。So I will kind of wait for your message first, but at a glance, yeah, 生子辰 will form a water combination formation. And then your Jiawood Day Master. Right, you are born in Singapore. All right, sure, I wait for your WhatsApp message, all right? So I will also do the time adjustment for you because in terms of people born in Singapore, you will need to do all the solar time adjustment. So I will wait for you first before I proceed. And for those people who are actually interested to learn 紫微斗数, yeah, do remember that I will be starting a new course in the month of August, which is very soon, yeah, just about 2 weeks away. So do not miss this chance to take part in this very good course, which is related to 紫微斗数 reading. Of course, I'm someone who has 30 years of 紫微斗数 and BaZi reading and also Feng Shui knowledge. So I will be sharing with you unreservedly everything that I know that is related to 紫微斗數, and I will go straight to the point. 一針見血 means I will not be around the bush, explaining all the philosophical concept or theoretical history or whatever. I will go straight into the practical usage of 紫微斗數. So you don't have to feel like after attending like 9 hours throughout the day, you still lost, right? You go straight into the practical aspect of 紫微斗數. That's what this course is about. If you are someone who is as practical as I am, always someone who is more interested into in the usage of BaZi and 紫微斗數, I will encourage you to take this course. So I have received your message, and yes, I received your date and time of birth. Yeah. So right, I will quickly adjust the solar time for you. Just a minute, as I need to make sure that everything is correct, and that's my approach of conducting BaZi and 紫微斗數 reading. Nothing has, everything has to be verified accurately to make sure that your solar time is properly adjusted. So just a minute, yeah, as I'm adjusting your solar time, and it will not take too long, really. So, as according to the proper adjustment of solar time, given your date of birth, 1984, of course, I will not name your entire date and time of birth, the 6th. Right, your time of birth actually is 22:05, yeah, which is 10 plus p.m. And that is still of the high hour, right? That is still of the high hour. So to look back at what you have mentioned earlier on, yours is, yes, high hour is correct, right? High hour is correct. Yeah. So I will plot your chart, yeah. So just to make sure that, right, everything is being dissected, being decoded in the most logical, sensical, and what we call scientific manner of analyzing your BaZi chart. All right, so let us go through. Okay, of course, I will hide your date and time of birth. Yeah. So, right. So let me double check. Okay, you are September the 6th. Oh, sorry. You're September the 6th, right? Or June of is it June or September? June the 9th or what? You're September, right? Am I right? May I ask, C-Band, you are born in September, right? Can I double check? C-Band, can I double check you are born in the month of September? Yeah, 6th of September. But interestingly, yeah, I mean, it seems like when I plot your chart night, okay, the date I will not mention it, the year that you're born, but you are not actually of a Jiao Day master, strangely. Oh, okay. Maybe I have read your message wrongly. Yeah, this is not correct. You are not a Jia Chen. I don't know why. Why are you having this Jia Chen initially? Okay, let's take a look at your BaZi chart first, right? So that's why you sometimes I still prefer you guys to give me the whole date and time of birth, yeah, because different school will actually give you different BaZi chart, yeah. And yes, you are supposedly a 癸 water day master, right? 甲子, Ren Shen, 癸卯, and 癸亥. Yes, correct. But how come initially you gave me this 甲子, Ren Shen, 甲辰, and 甲子? Anyway, I will have to verify that. I have to tell you that this is your correct chart, all right? So this is your correct chart, and you are a strong 癸 water day master. You are 癸 water day master. That is strong, okay? Yeah. So so do you have this kind of 杀阴上升? You don't have 7 killing and direct officer. Nonetheless, you don't have direct officer and 7 killing. But your current decade is having 7 killing. So you will be able to land into role that is related to authority, like have to manage staffs or being in a managerial role. Are you currently in some form of managerial position? May I ask C-Band? 我就用华语讲解一次先啊。 那西边你的那个命格呢是癸水的一个盛旺的命格，为什么呢？因为你这个申子会成一个水局啊，亥子丑也是一个我们叫做伴会一个水局啊，然后呢卯申也是一个暗合啊，卯申也是一个暗合啊，所以呢你现在的大运是这个丑的大运啊，可是啊亥子丑又是一个水局啊，所以不好意思啊，对我刚刚在看到你的这个大运亥子丑呢，其实还是一个水局耶。所以嘛，你真的要等到2034之后才会比较我们叫做有那种做那种 manager role 的 position 啊。现在因为你的这个亥还有子跟这个丑有一个合的关系，会了一个水局，所以还不是有那种运啊，还没有那种做很高的啊。刚才我就是说。刚才所说的哈，因为我刚才还没有好好看清楚了的命盘，可是现在看得到亥子丑嘛，你去查一下，亥子丑就是一个水局啊，还是一个 directional combination 啊。我们叫做亥子丑一个水的一个方局啊，方局呢都是我们八字里面最大的一个能量哎，所以你现在的运还是一般啊，坦白的说，可是今年有一些财运啊，你好好去把握一下啊，可始终大运还是亥子丑一个水局啊。财来财去的情况啊，现在的情况是很难存到钱是吗？可以这样说吗？薪水应该今年的薪水还不错，可是说花费就很多，每次钱来就钱去，就是说很难存到钱啊，high expenses。当然也是可以看一下你的命盘哦，大家当做聊聊天研究一下啊，对不对？好，然后呢，你的这个命格就是说，我也 plot 一下先啊，当然我不要给人家看你的那个啊，我们就大家研究啊，Master Jason 不是一个很吝啬的人啊，所以说有时候你们有什么问题，我都很欢迎你们去发问的啊，最重要清清楚楚哈，然后呢，一起来讨论的啊，不是说我说的东西啊。全部都是绝对的，有时候我是会看错啊，我有点瞎了嘛，对不对？我真的有点瞎，因为我的那个 myopia 其实是蛮深的。可是说呢，你不是啊，你不是 OK，你是说我看回去你说什么先啊？有时候我需要就是说，因为我现在前面呢，我说过了哈，我有5个 screen 的哈，我有五个 screen 在前面啊，还有这个 screen 啊，所以有时候我会跳，所以呢有时候会看不还没有看清楚啊，所以呢我会慢慢说，然后慢慢看清楚你的命盘，再跟你聊一聊，好不好？这样呢，全部东西都要有根据嘛，对不对？所以就看一下你的命盘先哦，你是什么武曲座命对啊？所以呢，I believe I might be 甲辰 because 紫微斗数命局天机巨门，cause I had self studying and I don't feel like I'm 武曲，没有可能啊，你还是武曲啊，你还是武曲座命嘞。所以我觉得，为什么你觉得自己不是武曲呢？你可以说一下吗？Yes, bro, broke this health, this few years, as exactly because you are still going through the 子亥丑啊。This is a very large water combination formation. The energy is extremely strong, and that is your rock wealth. So your ability to save will be disastrous. Uh, so it's very much like hell, yeah. So mostly because of family and friends, yeah. No problem, 师傅, yeah. So yes, you are still a Wuchi, yeah. No doubt about that. I'm not a disciplined person and not step by step person. Well, Wuchi, you okay. If we are to look at whether you are hardworking, yeah. If you are to look at your body domain, right, that is where you check whether you are hardworking. And with 太阳化忌 facing your 十二宫, which is your body domain, you will not be someone who is extremely hardworking, or you may actually feel exhausted easily. That's why you are not very hardworking. Can I say? I mean, that could be the tendency, yeah. Because people who have 太阳化忌 facing their body domain, they will not be someone who is very active or may feel tired easily. And you say that I got a fast mind and sharp tongue. Yes, 武曲 people are very fast. With 贪狼 especially, 武曲贪狼不发少年时啊, they are usually able to achieve a great success the second half of life. 贪狼 is a talent star, by the way. And you do have 天才, which is related to someone being very clever, having a fast mind. And sharp tongue. Well, Jimen people are often sharp-tongued and is at your body domain, and that will cause you to be someone who is quite what we call direct and straightforward in terms of speech, especially so Huaji. The negativity enhancer style is facing this Jimen, which is a communication style, also referring to your verbal communication skills. So you do have to be cautious of your speech, yeah, like the word choices that you use. You may offend people easily if you are not careful, because Huaji is facing your Jimen, which is a communication style, yeah. Yeah, so no, no, I'm them hardworking, but you feel tired easily, right? Because with Taiyang, Huaji facing your body domain, you may feel like easily exhausted mentally and physically. Well, two and three jobs before 2017 or 2000, yeah, very exhausting time. Because Taiyang will always means exhaustion. So yeah, yeah. So what we call what not at all you mean what? Okay, try to elaborate. I mean like, but most of the time people who have 太阳化忌 facing their body domain, they will often be caught in the situation of work, uh, being very tedious for them, like having multiple jobs, like having multiple kind of like throughout the day, morning they work, there at night they go drive grab, that kind of situation. The whole day being busy running about, but in the day I die. Yeah, look, very exhausted kind of situation, ma. Yeah, okay, especially at night is very active. Well, 太阳化忌 ma, that's why daytime you are always tired. But you, okay, where's your 太阴? Your 太阴 is actually at your friend's domain. Well, at night you're active, but you are socializing. Like, do you socialize with your friends at night? Because that's more towards your friends' domain, or like what we call expenses related to what we call light activities. Okay, whatever that means. But what I'm trying to say is that yes, definitely tiring. Your job will be tiring. And also, if we are to refer back to your BaZi chart, a lot of work where you do have to be cautious of expenses that are related to like social relationship, like friendship, like entertaining your friends, and at the end, like like your friends borrow money from you or your friends use your money. Okay, best that you are always, I mean, to be honest, yeah, for your trust, most of the time your friends will not benefit you too much. So will it be better that you seldom with your friends? Actually, it will be better, yeah. And if we are look at your 紫微斗数, right? 紫微斗数, right, in terms of the flying star, we are also seeing that double of the Huaji is at your father's domain. Your relationship with your father may not be that positive also. How is your relationship with your dad? May I ask? Like, are both of you like having like a gap, like communication gap? 代沟 what we call 代沟. My 身宫 at 夫妻宫 for 武曲, which I don't value relationship as most important value in my life. But your spouse to me is having 七杀. Okay, your 七杀 is usually a sign of the person you are with in terms of relationship is not always the one you love most. If your relationship with your dad is okay, but his health may have to be cautious of like digestive system issue or even like things like diabetes, yeah. Just that he's controlling like 破军化权. Well, Huaji people are always controlling, yeah. So that will, okay, in terms of 紫微斗数, when we have certain kind of stars falling into a particular domain, it will always manifest in various possibilities. And sometimes you have to explore with your clients, like which is the options in terms of that manifestation. Because with Huaji is a form of negativity and enhancer star. At the same time, 基子自己的心嘛, where your heart is always the pain point, what we call 你的痛点啊，你执着的东西嘛。所以画技的人都很执着啊，所以呢会有空治愈，空治愈就很强啊。所以呢，你说你父亲很有那个a sense of control 啊，like he likes to control, very controlling. Yeah, that's the same as your 紫微斗数 chart, because your father's domain is having Double of the Huaji, that's why I'm asking you, do you find like in your interaction with your father, sometimes it's like you don't feel that easy? What I'm trying to say is that like it's not a easy kind of like relationship. Yeah. Sometimes when I ask a question, clients may like kind of like okay, because when I see some things, right, I have to have the clients to see my point of view also from my angle. So when they are able to see my angle, most of the time they will be clearer in terms of what I'm trying to what we call decode from their chat. So you say that I feel that my 命宫 and 有宫 more like me though. Well, okay. Well, why? Why? Yes and no with talking. Yes and no. Yeah. So a love hate relationship, right? Yeah, love hate relationship, lor. You see that? I don't know. Sometimes clients, I mean, from the chat, I can see that yes, your father will have this kind of this side, this another side of him that is not easy. Also, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. But you feel that your 命宫 is a 有宫. Can you elaborate more? Sometimes, like communicating through message is quite hard. Can you elaborate more so that I can understand why you feel like you are more a 有宫 person? Because you have you is like because I'm very open and accepting to many things. Well, Tainan people are always very open-minded. You have Tainan at your opposite domain, yeah, and that is also part of your personality. It's your subconscious. Tainan people are very open-minded. They are very open to trying a lot of different things, like not that is non-traditional. And the travel domain also is related to your interaction with the external world, like openness to experience. You have Tana at the travel domain, which is related to your openness to experience. That is someone who is non-traditional. You'll be open and accepting to many things. That's true. So it's still, I have no doubt, it's still Wuqi. I don't know why, but right, just discussing. Yeah, just take it as a chit chat based on my 钟标时间八字 you still have to adjust your solar time. And with the adjustment of solar time is still the high hour, right? So it's still a Wuqi, just that maybe you are not too familiar with the 紫微斗数 concept as of now. So as you are more familiar with the 紫微斗数 concept, I'm sure you'll be able to understand your own birth chart better. That's the reason why I want to start this 紫微斗数 course, because a lot of people are interested in learning 紫微斗数, but they are lost because 紫微斗数 is a school of knowledge that is very hard to master because there are too much information, 108 stars. And then you still have to know the interchanging of domains. But I will break down everything to you in the most simplest form and to help you pick up what is crucial in terms of learning. You don't have to beat around the bush. I have 30 years of experience learning 紫微斗数. I know what is useful and what is not useful. A lot of information in terms of 紫微斗数 is just noise. And a lot of teachers like to teach all this noise, right? They spend 9 hours a day teaching you all this noise. Then ultimately, at the end of the course, you still don't know what is he talking about. So my approach will not be that philosophical or like too theoretical. My approach will be very practical, helping you to understand your chart straight away, like how I decode C-band's chart, right? And explaining to him how is it that from a practical perspective he is still a Wuqi, yeah. Although maybe I understand because learning 紫微斗数 is not easy and it's like it will take a lot of effort also, especially if you self-study. But I will encourage all those who have the affinity to watch this video, join this course so that you won't confuse yourself to no end. And that's the problem with a lot of my clients also. They open their 紫微斗数 chart, they look at it, they spend 12 hours looking at it, another 12 hours falling asleep because they cannot decode their own chart looking at it. So really, 紫微斗数 can be learned if you have someone experienced to guide you along. If not, you will just like feeling directionless. How about 天机巨门 person? Well, 天机巨门 person, what do you want to know? They are usually very clever, highly complicated, but you still have to look at the entire chart, yeah? 三方四正 or the what we call the adjacent domain and travel domain, you cannot just because 天机巨门 ultimately you will still have to see whether they are flying star being paired with 天机巨门. Also, like for example, you can be 天机巨门, but what if you are born with the what we call the Ding fire heavily stand, then you'll be having 巨门 at a with 花季, so you will not be communicative. So depends on a lot of things, and your 甲 day master is 太阳化忌, yeah, and your 化禄 is at 廉贞. Are you working in something that is related to computer right now? Like, what's your current job? I mean, I'm asking some background info to really confirm, verify your chart. Yeah, that's sometimes what I do with clients who came to me for on-site. I mean, like in my shop. What's your current career? Okay, is it related to finance or technology? Can you tell me like about your career, like current career? Healthcare. Okay, let me go to your current decade, which is 2019 to 2028. Your current decade, the 巨门 facing 太阳, healthcare in what aspect actually? Like social worker in terms of healthcare, or as a nurse as healthcare, because healthcare is very broad. But from what I see, is like your work will require you to communicate a lot, and may even need to move about, yeah, like travel. Can you like elaborate more on what kind of healthcare are you doing? Supporting nurse. Supporting nurse. Yeah, so the whole day you have to move about, going to different hospital wards, and like communicate with clients about their health and etc. Right? Am I right to say that? That's your current decade career domain, and it's a very tiring job with double of the 花季, and you don't enjoy your job too much also. Can I say that? 就说你不享受现在的工作啊，其实是蛮累的，你的工作，可以这样说吗？然后呢，薪水方面也不至于很好哦，So you don't enjoy, right? You mean you don't enjoy, right? Like not means like not means what? Not really more on back end. So you are nurse, you are supporting nurse, but more on back end in more sense. Skill okay for the job. All right. It is okay. Can you elaborate more? But anyway, yeah. I'm just saying what your decade is telling us, right? In terms of your decade, your 巨门 is having a 化忌, your career domain, and your relationship is not positive also. Enjoy on work, less on the money. Yeah, 天同 at a dark position, 太阴 at a dark position, not likely to be lucrative. And but there will be a lot of work stress, I would say. And additionally, your relationship will not be so stable also during this period, this decade, which is now until 2028. Yeah. How's your relationship? Okay, it's like from what your chart is saying, yeah, relationship may not be that stable. Yeah, single now, yeah, so no relationship, true enough. So I will advise you to, okay, let's look at your next decade. Next decade wise, your relationship will still be problematic somehow, but not like totally negative, just that you have to manage what we call your emotions. 廉贞 is a complication star, yeah, with 化禄 and 化忌. So you have a lot of emotional ups and downs, yeah, in your next decade in terms of relationship, in terms of career also. Right. So hopefully you have a good understanding on your chart, but in terms of the next decade, you are likely to hold a leadership position, and your career domain, I mean wealth domain, 这些化科. So I will advise you to upgrade your skill. And that will lead to better career development in the 2028 onwards, yeah, starting from 2029. Yeah, so hopefully it will help you. Right. So if you have more questions, or other viewers who have more questions, please feel free to ask. Yeah. So let's continue with today's sharing. Yeah. So as you understand, right, people who have these 观音上升 definitely will be able to have very positive developments in terms of their life, right? Like people like Obama and the Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew, right? So of course, right? Ultimately, we also have to take into like whether it's a weak chart or a strong chart, right? Is a weekday master or a strong day master, right? Other things to look at. People who have Guan Yin Sansen or officer seal mutual generation structure, usually they are able to have this institutional power, rank, or credentials suited to governance, law, education, and administration, like Obama。他们呢，在体制啊、职位啊、名望啊、智力啊，他们这一方面都很厉害。好像李光耀先生也是适合管理法律、教育还有行政的体系。好，所以呢 must check month command and root 月令跟那个根基啊。奥巴马刚才的根基很重啊，那Prime Minister 李光耀的根基也是很重。Must check strength, right? Both Obama and Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew was also strong day master. Luck pillow decay, luck pillows design manifestation. 大运流年决定显化，当然也是这样啊。那OK 啦，我就 go in depth a little bit for people who are really interested in BaZi reading. So what are the years that Obama become the prime minister? Is the president, right, of the United States? If you are to look at the history of Obama, right, let me find back where, sorry, I have having looking at 5 screen at the same time, so do bear with me. I only have 2 eyes, so I will turn back on my what we call the tablet and show you Obama's chart again. Right, so today I will just kind of go through randomly. I'll just take it as a kind of chit chat and for you to understand a little bit about BaZi and Zhuwei Dousu. Obama, right? His years of becoming the president of the United States were all these wood years in his 40s and 50s. Mao and Ying, yeah, all these years are very positive years for him to become the president, because we can see at the same time he's going through all these Sa and Guan, which is the direct officer and circulating. He's also having this output factor. This output factor is exactly associated with his public speaking skill. Output is always related to public speaking or like the ability to express yourself. So from this like 2000s, all these years, right, 40s to 50s, he became the president of the United States. So everything is black and white, backed up by evidence. So we can see that it is accurate. BaZi is very accurate. And of course, if you are able to use Zhuwei Dousu together, nothing will miss, right? Nothing will escape, right? You will be a very good investigator in, like, I don't know, like you can work for the police or something, yeah. But still, right, like just now I mentioned, like C-Ban, like his relationship currently will not be stable, and he's single right now due to the current decade trend facing double of the Huaji, yeah. Facing each other, clashing each other. So I will still recommend that you kind of like do be more cautious in terms of your relationship. I mean romantic relationship particularly, right? So another what we call formation, 上应上升 is also very powerful. 7 key links with seal, mutual generation structure. Another person, Winston Churchill, yeah. So perhaps we can take a look at Winston Churchill birth chart also, right? So everything backed up by black and white with a case study. Okay, let me type Winston Churchill, yeah. And check what is his date and time of birth first, date and time of birth, and let's plot his chart together. I don't have to prepare all this, yeah. By the way, I never prepare all this, because I'm so very sure that it is going to be coherent. BaZi is very accurate and is always coherent. I don't even have to prepare in advance. That's why I always do live sharing. I don't prepare. I will just open the above chart and be able to show you a very classic example of like but he was born in 1874. Yeah, I'm not sure my app is able to plot that. Unfortunately, he is too old. Yeah. My app can only go up to 19 plus. Yeah, I cannot go to 1874, but never mind. We will just read through what is the characteristics of this Sa-Yin Sang-Sen, right? So for people who have this Sa-Yin Sang-Sen kind of formation, right? Let me try to share the screen properly. 有 Sa-Yin Sang-Sen 格局的人呢，他们就也是一种大的格局啊。所以呢，他们通常呢，很有那种我们叫做 OK， 对不起啊，我 重新打开它啊，这样比较清楚哈。那上升格局的人呢，通常人生的掌权很有魄力啊，然后呢，危机的处理很好啊。They are very good in commanding, like being the leader. They have great courage and very good in crisis leadership. Well, Winston Churchill was actually like the time being the British prime minister, and he kind of was fighting the Nazis, trying to keep what we call the Nazis from taking power, strong decision making and authority. 那这种人呢，上一上呢也很适合那种竞争啊、权威啊、岗位啊、强压环境啊，就是说压力很大的工作都很适合他。那通常呢需要月令的有根气啊，然后呢旺衰调候用神这些也是要顾及得到啊。然后大运流年也是决定那个显化所以这些呢看一下自己的命格有没有七杀。跟正印偏印这些上印上升的格局也是 leadership 的那种格局啊。然后下一个是一定要 control killing structure 啊，食神自杀格也是一个很好的格局啊。Elon Musk 其中一个，我们就打开一下 Elon Musk 的格局很有钱啊 Elon Musk。那很多人呢不懂怎么样看 Elon Musk 的格局的，坦白说，为什么呢？因为呢他们 miss out 一个很 important point 啊。我们在八字里面呢有一个叫做 hidden gods 的很多人不懂啊，不管什么那些全部说自己 master 的什么什么全部看 Elon Musk 都看错。Elon Musk 他的命格怎么看呢？其实他是有一个 hidden god 在里面他的命格怎么看？子丑寅卯辰巳午未申酉戌亥嘛，对不对？然后呢 hidden god 是怎么找呢？巳亥午子丑寅卯辰巳午未申酉戌亥然后呢，我们能够看到它的地支有什么有这个申然后还有什么子丑寅卯OK 戌亥己亥子丑寅卯辰巳午未申OK those people who are familiar with the blind style of 八字 reading 我们叫做门派的那个八字里面就有一个长纲那懂的就懂了不懂的我就不说了。里面就有一个 hidden god 怎么样去找到这个长纲呢我也不说了可是说呢能够看得到 Elon Musk 是怎么一个格局，食神自煞格它的煞就是这些金属然后它的这个我们叫做食神是什么？食神就是这个火了，对不对？所以它就是需要弄到这个火的能量去控制这些正官七杀，对不对？那为什么会有财富呢？因为它有一个藏着一个我们叫做暗神暗神这个门派八字有叫暗神这个事情那你呢懂得被子丑寅卯辰巳午未申酉戌亥，你就能够找到暗神那在这里呢你们自己去想一下暗神在哪里啦。可是呢，它就有这个暗神呢，而能够得到很大的财富月日之为OK 啦 ，Mr. Phil 你说得出来 ，OK 啦，好啦对对对，你说的对所以呢，这些很多人不懂得看暗神这件事情可是说懂的人都懂暗神在哪里然后呢，它就是靠着火这个能量去控制这些金的能量这是个自身我们叫做what we call eating god controlling seven killing and direct officer formation and other especially auspicious chart, right? Eating god controls killing structure. People who have this kind of structure will usually be highly talented, able to foresee the future, very inventive, have a very creative mind, such as Elon Musk, and they can make a lot of money also and will be able to hold very high position. So they are usually eating god restrain seven killing 食神自煞，把压力化为执行力。然后呢 core meaning 核心的含义strategic plus execution can show entrepreneurship and ability and operational ability also like their execution skill or ability is very strong 有谋的又有那个执行能力然后呢通常企业家军事管理者就有这种常见的类型 所以呢，他们成歌的重点呢是说也是月令与更气需要看，然后呢他们的旺虚调候用神，还有呢大运流年也是决定的。可是现在 Elon Musk 他的那个运好不好呢？很好啊，很好啊。为什么很好为什么很好？因为他现在能够看得到呢，我们是离卦九运OK，也看一下 Mr. Philly 说什么Mr. Philly 他说甲日暗之，天乙贵人，对啊，也是is a very good observation also， 他也是有很多吉星他能够看得到呢，他的命格嘛，里面其实也是有很多不错的神煞了也是有一些不错的神煞。打个比喻天德还有学堂这些都是一些神煞。还有龙德太极这些都是一些神煞。其实我觉得吧，坦白的说我个人觉得 Elon Musk 他本身是懂得八字紫微斗数或者易经这些理论的，因为有太极在神煞里，就是神煞里面尤其是月份有太极这个星他们都懂，就是我们叫做 astrology 的东西。可是他懂得，就是说很奇怪啦，他懂得也是我们叫做 astronomy。可是说某程度上 astronomy is like rocket science, all these like collecting the rockets from the space and bring it back. All these are related to space or astronomy, right? In a way, astrology and astronomy is like related. They are related. So I think somehow Elon Musk is familiar with these aspects also astrology. Well, he's also able to leverage on the current 9 period, which is related to fire element technology. Like even recently, he have this Neuralink, right? Neural synapses is also related to the fire element. He's able to explore on all the fire element industry for good, like electric car, like space travel. All these are related to fire element. Yeah, so I think he somehow used his what we call astrological knowledge also to enhance his business. Ultimately, he also has a Peace Blossom star, and Jing, this is called a Jinghui star, is a well star, is a well storage star. So yes, he is born to have this kind of wealth potential, right? Born to have this kind of wealth potential. So another very interesting chart to remember, and for those people who can identify the hidden god, congratulations, you are advanced level. Right kind of 八字 learner already 可是说呢，暗神这个事情呢，其实也不难找了我们数一下，子丑寅卯辰巳午未申酉戌亥嘛，它这个午未申就有就暗藏一个暗神尾就在中间这个通常呢，我们看不到的东西呢，反而最大的能量是最大的，我们叫做呢无穷无尽无尽无限所以呢，上一次我不是在直播里面说 Voice Star 嘛，空劫什么天空地劫这些其实他们的能量都很大，在八字里面也是一模一样。我们所说的暗神 Hidden God， 它的能量也是非常大，所以也是为什么我们的那个 Elon Musk 也是世界的首富然后尾出来15位又是个火局耶所以呢，亥卯未又是一个木局耶，所以呢，它又能够变成声望，然后财富又能够 exponentially 这样去 grow 能不能够看得到？我们再去分析本身它是一个身弱的一个甲木，可是因为亥卯未出现有一个暗神出现，尾出现的时候，亥卯未发一个木局，然后呢，尾又跟母一个火局耶所以呢，他声望又能够靠自己的智慧去升他的财富，对不对？因为这个官他是要自助的嘛，官能够自助就是他能够做一个很有钱的或者权力很大的一个人所以呢，这个人的命格很好天生因为有暗神所助they like Elon Musk what we call Bazi transformation is being assisted by the hidden god. Not all of us has this hidden god and not a lot of practitioners understand what is hidden god also. But Mr. Philly, I'm very glad to have you here because you know you are more advanced learner. You know what is a hidden god. So sometimes it's kind of fun also chit chatting with my what we call viewers because some of them are actually advanced learner and they understand what I'm saying. But never mind, if you are a beginner in terms of batch reading, it's still good to learn all this slowly. And eventually you'll be able to decode your own battle chart also and able to understand your life journey better. Right, so Elon Musk, right, we are done, right? So the next one, herding officer match with SIP structure. So this is very similar concept. It's just that 18 God is being turned to herding officer. Just that people who have this formation will be more creative. People who have a lot of herding officer within their Bazu chart is always very like what we call original thinker, learning usually very unconventional knowledge like cryptocurrency, AI, or NFT or whatever, right? They will be an expert in this kind of unconventional, untraditional knowledge, often linked to fame, scholarship, and technical mastery. 就是说他们的才华都很好啊，有上光在命宫的不是命宫在命格里面哦，尤其是相关是喜用神的时候他们的那个才华都很不错，才华、学识啊，表达能力啊，都很强，专业度都是很强的啊。那坦白说，我本身命格也是很多三光在里面，也是我的喜用神啊，容易走向学术啊，那我就是学术啊，科技当然是科技的某程度上啦，每次上来做直播也是科技，对不对？艺术，OK 啦，宗教艺术咯，专业领域，对啊，我是专业啊，30年的经验，对不对？所以呢，其中也是一个很好的格局啊，双关配印格，我也是有我的命格也是有印哦，其实。Okay, Woolen, you're still here, right? Have you fallen asleep already? Woolen, yours is the herding officer matched with seal structure, yeah, by the way. Are you still here, Woolen? Do you want me to use your chart to illustrate? Are you still here? I'm not sure if you have fallen asleep, yeah. But anyway, Woolen, you do have the herding officer matched with the seal structure, yeah. I remember some of my clients' charts, so I can actually, mention some of your names. Aka, the silent proof. Yes, the silent push. Yeah. Yvonne, very good point to raise. Yeah, that is called the silent push or the hidden god. Well, yes. Woolen, you want me to show your charts? Do you mind me showing your charts to people? Like I don't know. Like if you don't mind, we just use this case study. Yeah, because I can't find anyone. Actually, Albert Einstein. Yeah, Steve Jobs also. Albert Einstein and Steve Jobs, they actually have this kind of herding office match with seal. So I will use Woolen. Yeah, Woolen is also a very clever woman, right? By the way, one of my clients, and she is one of the most interesting clients that I ever have because she always have very good ideas. Well, okay lah. To be tell your honesty, actually, she's also my assistant. Yeah, by the way, yeah, and like she has very good ideas in terms of like helping me in terms of work. Right. So, Woolen, if you don't mind, we'll just share your charts to to my viewers. Yeah. So, right, let's start the Woolen's chart together. A very interesting chart. Yeah, that is actually what we call someone who has a lot of seven killing. Not seven killing. Herding officer, right? Like all these. She's of a rainwater day master. Yeah. So, what is the seven killing? Sorry, not seven killing. What is the herding officer? Of course, this is Ma Wu, right? This Ma Wu is her herding officer. That's why she's very clever. Woolen is very clever, and at the same time, she has all the resource factor, right? All these resource factor are right at the year and month. So yes, this kind of person usually will be very creative. Also have good ideas to contribute. And I Steve Job also, yeah. I will check if I have Steve Job. I think I have. Yeah, Steve Job. Right, Steve Job is also a sign of like what we call herding officer with this what we call resource factor. Yeah, so this is Steve Jobs, right? Being fire day master. Well, is Steve Jobs creative? Yes, highly creative, right? He thought of adding all the device like iPad, iPod, Apple computer, what else? iPad, Pixel, and what else? I don't know. Yeah, but very creative, being fire day master, having all the herding officer, which is all this Chen Earth, right? All this Chen Earth and Wu Earth and Wei Earth, and at the same time having resource factor, Yi, Ying, all these are resource factor, and other classic case of very clever person. Albert Einstein, I don't know what is his date and time of birth, yeah, but I may not be able to plot his date and time of birth because my software is not able to plot people who are born in the 1x something, yeah. Oh, unfortunately, he was born 1x79, so I can't plot his chart, right? My software can't plot his chart, but you get the idea, yeah. 就是说呢，你能够了解嘛？好像Steve Jobs 就是说发明苹果电脑的那位我们的教主啊，我们的苹果教主啊，又发明我们的那个 iPhone 啊，就每个人爱到他爱到发疯的那个 iPhone，就是说呢，他也是一个很多这种我们叫做三光啊，对不对？辰啊、午啊、尾啊这些啊，当然也是食神的啊，尾是他的三光，然后呢也是有印啊，两个印，一个偏印，一个我们叫做正印，都有哎。他其实他食神还有这个三观都有哎，所以他真的非常聪明。然后那个偏硬跟正硬都有啊，非常聪明啊，Steve Jobs 很有一个创意的一个脑袋啊。所以呢，这种就是我们很 classic 的那种，也是一个很好的命盘啊。所以呢，大家如果呢，就是说呢，就了解嘛，这种自己好像自己的小孩有这种也是很好。那还有好多了，还有我可能我做一个 part two 吧，因为呢已经说了1个半钟头了哈，可能我做一个 part two，可是说呢，说最后一个财官商美格。Wealth and officer in harmony structure. Yeah, let's take a look. If you will be super rich, if you have this kind of formation, you'll be super rich like this guy, Warren Buffett. All right. So let's take a look. What is this wealth and officer in harmony structure? 我们叫财官商美格哦。Wealth produces officer. Officer protects wealth. Right? Means at the same time you have this wealth in your life and you also have this. Okay, let's take a look at the case study. Right. So let me try to find out the date and time of birth of Warren Buffett first. All right. So what's his name? So why is he so rich? Right, 1930. Let me type his name, Warren Buffett. So he was born in the year 1930. So if you kind of check your chart, right, will you be extremely wealthy in life? You have to check if you have similar charts like Warren Buffett. If you do have a similar chart, then congratulations, yeah, you are going to be extremely wealthy and also able to achieve great wealth in life. As according to the internet, he was born like 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Yeah. So I will just put it as the sun hour. Right. So let's look at his chart. Yeah. Right. He is someone that is having run water day master. Right. Let's take a look at his chart together and let's decode it together. Right. Step by step. And will be helpful for BaZi learners also. Right. If you're someone interested to like begin your learning journey in BaZi and 主导术, right? I am always more than glad to share. Right. So, 师傅, can you see my? Yeah, of course I can see yours. But let's take a look at this good example first. Run water day master. And then we can see that he is having what kind of factors within his chart. Let's double check on the day and time of birth. 1930, August the 30th. Yes, correct. So what can we observe from his chart? We can see that he is someone having what? As mentioned earlier on, this is what kind of birth chart, right? If we are to refer back to the chart, this is the formation of 财官商美格啊。So where is his 官 where is his 财 let's study it together 财官商美格他的那个官在哪里他的财在哪里 Yeah, so let's refer back to his chart again. Alright, where is my iPad? Okay, sorry. Yeah. So 他的命格的那个财跟官在哪里他的午火当然就是他的财啊那他的官在哪里就是他的时间这边木土就是他的官对不对所以呢当他的那个官旺的时候然后呢当他的财也是旺的时候他就有钱他几时开始就开始有钱他其实很小开始已经有钱了 Alright 他这个Okay, let's look at his background. Yeah, let's see what AI says background. Like when he started become rich. But if we are to look at his life, yeah, okay, I low battery soon. But if we are to look at his life, He's paved well through childhood hustles like delivering newspapers, selling chewing gum, and a pinball machine business, and become billionaire by age 32. So by age 32, he is already considered very wealthy. And what happened at the age of 32? If we are to look at his chart, the age of 32 is exactly where he's entering into this high water period. And this high water period, if we are familiar with BaZi, within which there is a Jia wood, right? Jia wood. Jia wood is able to enhance the Wu fire within his chart. And this Ding fire is what we call 盖头. Ding fire is serving as the trigger for this Jia wood also to fuel this Wu fire here. And additionally, Hai will actually be pairing with this Wu to form a hidden combination formation because this Ding Ren He, which is a wood combination formation. So don't look at this as a high water. This is not just a high water. Within which has the wood element. And within each, the Ren water is able to combine with the Ding fire within Wu fire to form a wood combination formation that will subsequently enhance the wood element. Yes, another case is Lydia Jensen Huang. Yes, I like to see this guy because his chart is very easy to see. Yeah, okay, Jensen Huang, the CEO of Lydia. Exactly, a lot well within his chart，台风通门户啊，无人不富啊，然后怎么样？他的官在哪里？也是在他的时间啊，丙发呀，which is the 官啊，所以这种财官格啊，很好啊，很有钱，而且呢，他现在的大运嘛，他是一个身弱的心经啊，他全部的大运现在都是旺他的这个心经的日元呢，母身都是旺他的日元呢。可是说2027之后会掉下来是为什么呢？可能因为打仗吧，可能因为打仗吧。可是说丁火不会让他破很多财，因为丁火始终是他的官，又或者他会从政。Maybe after 2027, right? Sorry, I covered this part up, yeah. After entering into 2027 or 2028, would there be a possibility that he entered into politics? I will say that there could be a chance because this Sting Fire is his 7 killing. And his chart is actually favoring this 7 killing, given that it can actually like what we call wealth generating 7 killing. Due to him being such a rich, wealthy person, he may have political influence also. But if we are to analyze the global situation, yeah, will Lydia actually hold some kind of political influence over the world? Definitely. Lydia is some form of graphic cards, right? And the price of these graphic cards will definitely, influence the political, military, what we call scene, right? In fact, Taiwan is a very strategic country in terms of the U.S.-China relation. China is always afraid that Taiwan will be a platform whereby U.S. can use to launch attack over China. Right, so that's why they always want Taiwan to have this unification. You think it's really due to history, due to historical reason? Come on, if Taiwan is like, if there's no US, who cares about Taiwan? Or like, if Taiwan is really like, not wealthy or not having all this, what we call, semiconductor, making all these very good semiconductor in Taiwan, or like having all these tech firms like Lydia, right? Yeah, so definitely, I will say that Jensen Huang after 2028 will have stronger political influence, at a global scale, influencing the geopolitical tension of various bigger players like US, China. Yeah. So let's take a look at the comments. Siban says that Ding Ran An He. Yes, exactly. Very good point. Thank you very much for the input. And later on, I will also take a look at your birth chart also, Siban. So Warren Puffer, BaZi has a floor to in the year Man Tiangan. 消神夺食, that's why his early years struggled quite a bit up to 30 years old there. Lian and Re Zhu already gone 30 years. Yes, let's take a look. Let's look back at Warren Puffer's chart also. So what Mr. Philly is saying is that there is an indirect resource within Warren Buffett chart. Yeah, for those BaZi beginner, I will try to decode. I mean, help you to understand what Mr. Philly is saying, because what he's saying right now is highly technical, and is usually those advanced learner will be able to understand. 消神 in terms of BaZi reading is called indirect resource. And 夺食 means indirect resource is able to suppress the energy of the eating god. And that's true. In Warren Buffett case, he has a lot of what we call 消神, which is the indirect resource. Like one indirect resource, which is the sun metal, another sun metal. We have to understand is the gun within the sun, yeah. That is the indirect resource. So gun, which is the indirect resource, will suppress the energy of this eating god. Yeah. So what is called 我们 call 笑神夺食. Yeah, 笑神夺食 is a very classic term in terms of BaZi reading. So that's why his earlier struggled quite a bit, which is true. If we are to look back at his earlier years, yeah, let me show you the earlier decade trend. Indeed, it was true. Sun Yu Shui will form a metal combination formation, right? So you can see that the first decade was of Yu metal, second decade was of Shui metal, and all this will form a Sun and Yu combination of the metal, which will actually further enhance the indirect resource, which will hurt the eating god that is supposed to generate wealth. So actually, BaZi reading is very simple. Basically, it's very logical. You just have to link them up step by step. That's all. Unlike 紫微斗数, well, 紫微斗数sometimes is very complicated because you have to look at the adjacent relationship and opposite relationship and blah 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 blah. Yeah. So, but in a way, 紫微斗数 is can also be very accurate. Perhaps we'll open the chart of 紫微斗数 on Warren Buffett. 1930年8月30 新市. I think I have opened his chart before, yeah. So let me see if it's within. Okay, I don't have his. So yes, let's plot his chart together. 1980. Sorry, not 1980. Yeah, but when? Yeah. All right. Okay, sorry. Let me check his day and time of birth again. 1930, and the month of birth is August the 30th, right? And then the time of birth, assuming what internet say is correct, the sun hour. Yeah, so let's take a look at his chart. Well, yes, exactly. We can see that it's a rather positive chart. First of all, he is having at the career domain 破军 at a bright position, being paired with 化科. And that is usually means earning of money through unconventional means. He's an investor, right? And actually, throughout his life, he has been started various entrepreneurial endeavor. He built his massive fortune after taking control of Berkshire Hathaway in 1965, compounding wealth through value investing and influence flow. Yeah. So at the same time, the wealth domain is having a 贪婪化路 with 禄存 over there also. 禄马交持格 啊. If you remember, in terms of 紫微斗数, when 禄存 is being paired with 天马, is often a sign of great wealth also. I actually have mentioned this in some of my older YouTube video. So really, this guy is rich, right? We can see that he is definitely able to, create great wealth in life, right? And additionally, what other things we can see? 天府 Wuqi are facing his life domain. These two are well starred and being paired with Hua Quan means someone highly capable of earning great money. With his talents, Tian Cai is also at the opposite domain. All these, as I mentioned, opposite domain is also the image that other people will be able to derive from your persona. So really, rich guy, Warren Buffett, as shown with 紫微斗数 charts also. So really, if you are able to use BaZi and 紫微斗数 charts together, definitely will help all of us to decode charts in a very accurate manner, and will also help us to be able to plan our life ahead. So if you are interested to learn 紫微斗数, yeah, do know that I have an upcoming course. I will be conducting this course in the month of August, and it is going to be a very useful course for all of us who are interested to learn 紫微斗数, right? To learn how to decode our own chart, to know how to take a look at what are our future development and etc. Yeah. So to also touch on C-band, right? Earlier on, I promised that I will see C-band's BaZi chart. Right. So for your chart, right? Actually, your chart is not bad also. I mean, in the future years, after you have entered into all these what we call the output factor years, you will have great wealth also, right? That is after you're 51 or 50 years old, right? Because you are strong day master of Kui water. When you enter into 50 years old, this is a shilling, yeah, by the way, because every person, they are inside the womb for about 10 months, so plus 3 months, that's like a 1 year old, so that's your shilling. So what I'm trying to say is that after 2033, you will be more wealthy, C-band. Very positive development in your old age, all the way to 70 years old. So you still have about 20 years of positive development. So wish you all the best, yeah. Right. So if other questions from any other viewers, please feel free to ask. Yeah, but I have 5 more to go through. But perhaps I will just simply go through it. Yeah. All right. The next formation, right? I will not be too long-winded. I will just go through it. If you have it in your life, congratulations. Well nourishing this weak killing structure, right? 中文叫才智弱煞格哦。This is a situation of well strengthened killing, still transforms pressure, very much like Jensen Huang, the current decade moving into the 7 killing decade. So he may have a political influence also, Jensen Huang, which I mentioned earlier on. Also of this Jack Ma also and Jeff Bezos, but Jack Ma was kind of like, still a communist country, so his political influence is not very welcome. But anyway, yeah, I will just go through the 5 more. Another very great noble chart. Commercial instinct and management pressure, good for investment operations and sale. 就是说这种才智弱煞格哦，商业头脑很好，管理压力也是很好啊，有那扩张能力啊，适合投资平台啊，他就是说平台的Jack Ma 对不对啊？我不懂有没有曾经给你们看过 Jack Ma 的那个八字 chart 啊？我好像有，可是时间关系了哈，我不要做一个2个钟头的 live 啊，有点太过长啊。可是说我会比较尽量就是说给你们看一些 live example 啊。那我们看一下 Jack Ma 吧。I mean, since today is Friday night, so we just chit chat. Yeah. Although tomorrow I have work, but it's okay. 1964 and September the 10th. So Jack Ma, right? Assuming his time of birth, no one know his time of birth. Yeah, by the way, I assume it as the hour. Because he has quite a lot of wealth. Yeah, one of the wealthiest person in China. So yeah, I will not be too long-winded. Yeah, but 我们看一下 Jack Ma 的一个八字啊，马云啊，马云懂的是谁啊？那有点像外星人的那个马云啊。那他本身也是一个人水的格局。其实人水的格局呢，通常他们都很聪明啊，人水格局。那 Jack Ma 你们应该也是不说陌生，你们每次喜欢去淘宝买你们的家具吗？对不对？我现在每次看风水，那些客人都说啊，我去淘宝买的东西全部在淘宝买，就是那个阿里巴巴的 Jack Ma 咯啊，他的 time of birth 啊，看一下有没有。Oh no, I dropped my tomato juice. Never mind, I will clean it up later. Time of birth. Okay, so I have tomato juice all over the floor. Blood on the dance floor. Okay, never mind. Time of birth is not very right, so never mind. But Jack Ma, right? Most likely, I will say a fire hour. I will give it a fire hour because he's a billionaire, right? So ultimately, right? Likely to be Chen You, Shui You. We form what we call metal combination formation. Chen You also like very much like a little bit like, not very much like, but a little bit like Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew's chart, yeah. A strong day master of water, then having all these 7 killings, enhancing the resource factor. But is this a 才智弱煞格? His wealth is all at the time pillar. The what we call the earth branches is having all these sa also. So it's also considered a 才智煞弱格. And indeed, the current decade, I mean, actually, 10 or 20 years ago, he started this Alibaba, right? That's whereby all the earth elements are strong. That is his 7 killing also. Yeah, so it's another very classic case study, right? Yeah, so I will not be too long-winded. I will try to finish everything, right? It's about 2 hours, yeah. But really, if you have all this chart formation, congratulations, right? Most of the time you'll be very wealthy, yeah. Yang Yin Jia Sa Ge, yeah, like Napoleon and Margaret Thatcher. This very highly politician who has high political power, yeah. My floor has all kinds of tomato juice right now, right? But I will try to concentrate. But anyway, people who have this what we call yan plague, yeah, commands 7 killing. Perhaps I will try to find her time of, date of birth at least, yeah, because not many people know what is this Yang Ren. At least date of birth, yeah. So for Margaret Thatcher, 戴卓爾夫人啊。We Hong Kong people like to call her the 大腳子夫人啊，戴卓爾夫人啊 just joking. So for this Margaret Thatcher, born in 1925, and the month of birth is what we call the October the 13th, yeah. So let's see her chart, right? See what we can observe from her chart. Right, so we can see that where exactly is Yuan Yan. Okay, perhaps I will give you another case study. This may not be like very okay, Yuan Yan Ga Sa lah. Okay, perhaps I will just write this. Yeah, this is just legendary, right? It's just a legend, right? But legend has it that. Right, legend has it that you know who is 关公 or the 关帝？我们中国人嘛，我们华人嘛，就很喜欢去拜关公，对不对？那个我们《三国演义》嘛，《三国演义》不是有刘备、张飞还有关羽嘛？那个关羽哦，传说了哈，这个只是传说了哈。关羽啊，关羽是谁 ？In terms of the romance of the three kingdom, there's 刘备、关羽 and the 张飞。So what they are like three brothers, but they are generals, by the way, right? If you do read the romance of the three kingdom, military generals, so legend has it that 就是说呢，我们传说呢，他的八字是木五啊，木五啊，木五啊，木五啊，传说了可是说呢，这是传说，我们就当做传说就好。可是这些都是洋人呢，就是洋人呢。那打个比喻，他走到好像水旺，好像壬水或者癸水的大运，那他就是那种我们叫做洋人咯，加萨格咯。那他真的杀很多人呢、关羽是不是他杀了谁？很多人都在杀什么他帮助那个曹操杀了谁呀、那时候煮酒杀那个什么我忘记了，就是说他杀了很多人啊。关羽他是一个武将嘛，他武功很好哦，所以这种就是洋人加萨格咯或者他走到大运有这种杀或者财的时候洋人加杀，因为我们这个也是能够声望甲木，甲木就是七杀对不对？或者他直接可能命格里面也是我们所说的可能不懂 maybe 他的那个命宫或者什么太元也有甲木这种也是可以当做是我们所说的洋人加萨格的So for people who speak English, I don't know how to explain but you guys go and read Romance of the Three Kingdom. There's this guy called the Guan Yu, and legend has it that he has this kind of birth chart, So with all the yang plague, well, and exactly he was carrying this 青龙刀青龙大刀，那个关羽他每次拿着一个大刀的嘛。我的 Apple Pen 是那个大刀，就你们 imagine 他大刀是这样的，他每次关羽或者给你们看一下关羽Romance of the Three Kingdom. Right, thank God we have internet, Romance of the Three Kingdom. Who is 关羽So legend, right? It's just a legend So don't take it like literally, but possible. I mean, it's written in some of the classic ancient BaZi texts. 关羽 how do I spell So this guy is called Guan Yu. I mean, there are a lot of movies on him also, by the way. Yeah. So this is Guan Yu. So he is always carrying this Qing Long Dao, like life, right? Like this life, right? This life, yeah, this life 也是那个洋人啊，这个就是洋人咯，啊，对不对？那个大刀就是那个洋人咯，这把大刀就是那个洋人啊，然后加沙格啊，啊，对不对？所以就是这种气势咯，很有气势的那种人，通常是 political, military, powerful type, yeah, that kind of chat, yeah. So just three more, yeah. So bear with me, I will just go three, and then I will go to sleep also, right? Yeah. So three more auspicious ones. 转万格 means it's a special formation chart. Yeah. But not many people has it, right? Not many people has it, right? Not actually Steve Jobs, no. Cristiano Ronaldo, perhaps we will take a look at Cristiano Ronaldo. Yeah. Actually, like of course, right? Sometimes you don't have their time of birth. Maybe they have, I don't know, right? No one actually knows the real time of birth of Steve Jobs, but we will look at Cristiano Ronaldo, the soccer player now is World Cup, right? But he's not playing in this round, right? I heard he's like not playing in this World Cup. Is it? I didn't see him in this year's World Cup, yeah. So when is his date and time of birth? Let's check his date and time of birth and see if we can derive some information from this guy. 1985, February the 5th, right? So let's plot his chart together, and let's do a case study. I will take this as the last case study already. Yeah. So tonight's sharing is a little bit long, but it's a comprehensive one and helpful for all people who are interested in BaZi reading, right? So I will just call him Ronaldo. How to spell? LDO. Yep, right. So 1985. February the 5th. So, yeah, this very famous football player. I don't think he's a Zhuang Wangge, yeah. So okay. So, but anyway, let's decode his chart. Not likely to be a Zhuang Wangge. Yeah, not likely to be a Zhuang Wangge. But this is what we call strong day master with a lot of wealth within the charts. Yeah. So currently, yeah, still going through a lot of water decay, still very wealthy. Yeah, Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the most wealthy soccer player currently. I mean, his salary is like how much, or net worth? His net worth is like how much? His net worth is about 2 billion. $2 billion. Oh my god! So he's one of the world's highest paid athletes. Yeah, so yeah, true. I mean, like 也是财丰通门户啊，他也是财丰通门户啊，木啊丑啊assuming that the hour of birth is also 丑 hour, yeah, and a strong day master, and also having eating god, right? Eating god generating well kind of chart. Very nice, very nice. Another very positive chart. So for Zhuang Wangge, strictly to have only two Wuxing, right? Yes, not okay. Zhuang Wangge, the logic is that, right? Listen carefully, right? You can only go with its flow. Means it can be a strong, extremely strong day master having output factor because it's going along the flow, but you cannot have 7 killing and direct officer for Zhuang Wangge or the special formation chart of the extremely strong chart. You cannot have something that go against its flow. If you go against its flow, then you are offending that day master already. So it will have a broken formation. 所以呢，不可以跟它有一个我们叫做对面的相冲，就是好像打个比喻，你是一个甲木的一个转弯格，你可以见到火，可是不可以见到金啊，就是这样子了啊，了解哦，很简单，讲一句很简单啊，希望你们听得懂啊。那所以呢，说完最后2个啦，然后我也是去睡觉了啊。所以呢，最后还有什么格局啊？就是这2个格局了啊。就是呢，重格就是 follower chart 啦，就是 the opposite way 咯。It can only be suppressed, cannot be having any resource, right? And also the 化气格。化气格, right? Sometimes the criteria is very strict. You really have to have two day master that is pairing and having all the satisfying criteria for it to form. Rare, strict formation when generally it can show complete life transformation，可是说很少见。成格的条件非常严格，真正的那种化气格呢，层次就很高啊，化气能量很强Nelson Mandela、邓小平哦这些所以呢，这种下一次再说吧那今天就说了很多东西了希望你们呢对八字呢就有一些比较深入的了解。那也是呢，再次说一次鼓励大家参加我的这个紫微斗数课程A very good course, really. You won't regret learning it because it's a highly practical course. You will learn how to decode the chart yourself without focusing too much on the philosophical or theoretical aspect, right? Straight to the point. Nothing beating around the bush, right? You will learn how to decode the chart yourself. So if you are interested, do sign up ASAP because I have to prepare your graduation certificate also. So the cost fee is very reasonable. It's only at $680. Recently the government gave out a lot of voucher, right? Or like credits, right? I mean a good chance, right? If not, right, I'm not sure when will the government give out other credits again, more child credits or whatever. A good chance to join right now that you have extra income. I mean not income, but like what we call some money, extra money. So a very comprehensive course, highly recommended to join. You will learn how to decode, especially the luck cycle. A lot of people don't know how to read the overlapping of decade development and year development and month development and day development. I will teach you and you'll be able to master it yourself. So thank you all for watching. It has been a great pleasure sharing with you again. I have my old floor filled with tomato juice. I have to clean it up right now. Right, pretty messy. Yep. So I'll see you in the next live video and have a beautiful Friday evening. Bye bye.